Saturday's usually a time where we get to get together with friends, spend some time with the kids, with family. Obviously, this is another different Saturday as we've had over the past few weeks. We need you to continue to stay home. We need you to continue to do everything we can to flatten the curve. Obviously, there are sacrifices we're all making, but it's beginning to work. We see promising news out of BC that over the past couple of weeks, the measures taken in place by so many Canadians, the choices that Canadians have made have had an impact on the overall numbers, but we need to keep it up. We need to continue to do what is necessary to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which means continuing social distancing, continuing to not go out unless you absolutely have to, continuing to think about caring for each other, thinking about protecting each other, and thinking about protecting our healthcare workers and those essential workers who are doing such extraordinary service to keep things going, to keep us safe at the same time. We've been telling people, particularly if you feel the onset of symptoms of a cold, of COVID-19, you need to stay home. You need to isolate. You need to not travel. People have been following that, but I can enhance that we have formalized some of the domestic travel rules. As of Monday at noon, people showing any signs whatsoever of COVID-19 will be denied boarding on all domestic flights and intercity passenger trains. The conversations I was able to have with the young people on the Prime Minister's Youth Council last night were extraordinary. Obviously, lots of questions and comments around COVID-19 and vulnerable populations from the north to internet access and broadband access for rural communities, questions about what young people can do, questions around what they can tell their friends who are doing well or not doing well, conversations about mental health as well, because obviously this is a moment of anxiety and stress for so many people. This was a great conversation, like so many of the great conversations being had amongst Canadians across the country. Our young people specifically, we've been counting on them over the past years to continue to step up in the fight against climate change, in the fight against poverty, in supporting a better world internationally and at home. And we continue to need young people to be that vehicle for building a better future and sharing messages. Obviously, young people, like every generation, are chafing at the bit in terms of having to be self-isolated, particularly at a time when we tell our young people at an age where we say, now is the time to go out and discover the world, whether it's with a backpack or in a laboratory. Make new discoveries, challenge yourselves, challenge the world. And they're looking at their plans for the spring and their summer jobs, and they're realizing that there is a massive anxiety and a massive uncertainty out there. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. Doesn't mean they're powerless. On the contrary, this generation of young people is so committed and engaged to creating a better world that we need you to keep leading the way you are. We need you to share your messages with friends. We need you to lead by example. We need you to be challenging and discovering the world in virtual ways. There are ways that you can continue to shape the future we all live in every single day, not just with your choices, but with your leadership, and that's what we need. We have taken significant measures to help people. Yes, young people who will, many of them qualify for the CERB and be helped through the payroll subsidy that the wage subsidy we're creating for businesses and bringing up to 75%. But there's always going to be more to do, and we're going to keep listening and looking how we can make sure that Canadians get through this in the best possible way by supporting them now and ensuring that we can roar back stronger once this is all done. That's why we put forward big measures to help businesses over the past few days. Increasing the wage subsidy to 75% means businesses across the country are now realizing they're going to be able to keep people on their payroll, keep that relationship going between them and their workers, and even rehire people who they didn't think they'd be able to support over the past 2 weeks. We know that what we do now to hold things together, to give people the ability to stay home, to isolate, to hold through this difficult time is key to how we will come back stronger afterwards. But we need to stick together and we need to do it. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit will give people $2,000 every month for the next 4 months to help get us through this time. I know an awful lot of people have showed interest in it already. My recommendation to you is to go on the Canada Revenue Agency site and sign up in advance through the My Account links. Once you do that, in the coming days when we're able to start actually opening applications, you'll have a head start. And if you can, please opt for the direct deposit option, which will let you get this money into your bank accounts sooner and is simpler for everyone as well. There are lots of things that we're doing to make sure that we get through this together. But everything we do, we need to do together. Every single individual, every single household has its role to play in making sure that Canada and Canadians do well through this. We also have a role to play in making sure that the world gets through this, both by modeling solutions and demonstrating what can be done when we all work together. This is going to be key, particularly as parts of the world that are much more vulnerable are beginning to get harder hit. We need to be able to get through this so we can help rebuild a world in which people can prosper and everyone has a real and fair chance to succeed. I know Canadians are up to this challenge. I know we're going to do this together.
Merci, thank you.
Obviously, people across the country have been doing an excellent job of staying home, of not traveling for anything that's not absolutely necessary, and we encourage people to continue to do that. However, there is essential transport and travel that is happening as merchandise, as food gets delivered across the country. We need to continue to ensure that that's happening. Every step of the way, we're going to look at whether we need to take further measures to keep Canadians safe and to keep our economy rolling on essential goods. We will make those decisions as they are needed to be made, but right now we're not looking at closing provincial borders.
Merci. Prochaine question.
Merci. La prochaine question est de Mélanie Marquis, La Presse. Votre ligne est ouverte, à vous la parole.
Merci. Bonjour, M. Trudeau. Pourquoi est-ce que les autobus qui, elles aussi font des trajets interprovinciaux ne sont pas compris dans les mesures que vous annoncez?
Okay. We recognize, and we've told people who have symptoms that they need to self-isolate, they need to stay home, they should not travel. Now there will be Transport Canada rules coming into place that will prevent anyone indicating symptoms to travel by airline or by train.
Merci, thank you. The next question is from Rod Nickel from Reuters. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Premier Kenney said yesterday that he'd like to see a coordinated North America response to OPEC's actions to flood the world with oil. He suggested ideas like tariffs on Saudi oil and an anti-dumping case. Do you support these ideas, and do you support the more aggressive approach to OPEC's actions recently?
Obviously, we are very concerned with OPEC's decisions that are putting at risk the livelihoods of people around the world, particularly Canadians who work in the oil and gas sector. We are focused on helping those Canadians, helping people who are hardest hit by economically by COVID-19. The measures we've put in place will support Canadians right across the country, including in our oil and gas sector. But we also know it's a sector that has been particularly hard hit, and we will look for further help to be able to support people as they get through. In terms of international collaboration, coordination, we continue to be part of conversations on this issue around the world.
Would you look at a more aggressive approach to Saudi Arabia?
I think this is a moment that we need to focus on getting through COVID-19 as best we possibly can. I think there will be a lot of reflections on how various countries behaved in this particular moment. Our focus right now is on making sure we can support our citizens and stabilize the global economy the best way we can, which we are doing through our membership in the G7, in the G20, in various international fora and approaches that we have, while at the same time focusing on making sure we're supporting Canadians and keeping them safe.
Merci, thank you. The next question is from Teresa Wright from the Canadian Press. Your line is now open. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Prime Minister. On the cruise ship anchored off the coast of Panama, what actions are being considered or will be taken to help the 248 Canadians aboard?
We have worked directly and contacted directly the Panamanian government to try and get an ability to bring those Canadians home. We know this is a very difficult situation for them, for their families. A lot of people around the world are worried about being able to get home. A lot of their family members here are feeling anxious and really want to see them brought home. I can tell you that the entirety of Global Affairs Canada employees are single-mindedly focused on this Herculean task of bringing Canadians home any way we can. And much of it involves negotiating with other countries to get permissions to cruise ships to dock, permissions for airplanes to lift off from their country where they've closed airspaces. We're going to continue to work diligently to do everything we can to get all Canadians home and provide significant consular support both in the meantime and to those people who are unable to get home.